Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're looking at something really interesting because it seems so simple at first glance.
Right.
It's called JML Hello. It's basically a Hello World example, but it's specifically for an engine called JML Engine WebGoal.
Mm-hmm. And that's an open source engine available on GitHub.
Exactly. And it uses WebGL, the tech that lets you do cool 2D and 3D graphics right in your browser.
Pretty powerful stuff.
So our mission today is, what can this super simple demo tell us about how the whole engine is put together? How does it make something potentially complex feel approachable?
It's a great question. Because often these minimal examples, they're like, oh, little blueprints. They reveal a lot about the design choices.
So JML Hello points us to three specific things: demo.js, and then two files in a scenes folder, .cat.js and texts.js.
Yeah, and that structure itself is the first big clue, isn't it?
How so? I mean, okay, it's not one giant file, so it's modular, but what else?
Well, think about the order. Demo.js likely comes first. That sounds like the main application file, right?
The starting point.
Exactly. Probably where it sets up the WebGL canvas, starts the main loop, maybe handles basic controls. It's the orchestrator.
Okay, the conductor. And then you have these scene files, .cat.js and texts.js, keeping them separate, under scenes. That feels deliberate.
Very deliberate. It suggests a clear separation. Demo.js runs the show, and the scenes folder holds the actual content the show displays.
Content like a cat, presumably, and some text.
Precisely. .cat.js probably defines the geometry, maybe textures, for a 3D model.
Right.
Text.js likely handles rendering text elements.
So even in this tiny example, it's showing how the engine expects to load and manage different types of assets.
Yes. It hints at a content pipeline. It suggests you don't need to mess with the core engine code in demo.js just to add a new model or change some text.
You'd work within these scene files instead. That makes sense. It sounds much more approachable, like you said.
Right. It points towards a design where you compose scenes from smaller, reusable parts, maybe like a scene graph or an end-to-component system, even at this basic level.
So it's modularity, but for a specific purpose, making content creation easier and keeping it separate from the core rendering logic.
That's the key takeaway, I think. It's building flexibility and scalability in from the very beginning. You can see how you might add tree.js or character.js later without breaking everything.
It's composition over inheritance even implied here?
Definitely feels that way. It's about building things up from pieces.
So wrapping up this JML Hello, even though it's just a basic demo, it really does give us some crucial insights.
Absolutely. Those three files, demo.js, scenescat.js, scenestexts.js, they aren't just random files. They show the core structure.
They illustrate that separation of concerns, the main application logic, and the distinct scene content built for the web, for WebGL.
It makes the whole engine seem less intimidating, You see the pattern right away.
And if you want to check it out yourself, remember, the JML engine WebGL is open source on GitHub.
Worth exploring.
So here's something to think about. Look at your own field, whatever it is you're interested in. Can you find its hello world, that simplest example?
And what can dissecting that tell you about the fundamental design, the core ideas of the much bigger, much more complex system it represents? Give that some thought.